In a distant corner of the galaxy lies the planet Samaris, where pilot Mills, accompanied by his wife Aaliyah and their ailing daughter Naveen, savors a tranquil moment on the beach. They are enjoying each other's company before Mills embarks on a 2-year-long space mission. However, during Mills' voyage, the Zoic Charter 3703 spacecraft encounters an unidentified asteroid belt, resulting in the destruction of the ship. With no other option, they make an emergency landing on an unknown planet nearby. Upon regaining consciousness, Mills assesses his injuries and treats his wounds. He emerges from the severely damaged spacecraft, armed and wearing an oxygen mask. To his horror, he discovers the lifeless bodies of the other passengers scattered around. He sends a distress signal back to Samaris, alerting them of the crash and requesting assistance. Upon stepping outside, he quickly discovers that the air is indeed breathable. The thought of his daughter floods his mind, providing him with the motivation he needs to embark on his journey of survival. As he watches archived videos of his daughter, Naveen, Mills receives a signal from a cryogenic capsule that had been ejected during the crash. He sets out to investigate and finds Koa, another survivor. Koa, who was approximately 9 years old, boarded the ship with her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Ona. It was speculated that they hailed from the upper territory of Samaris, which would explain why Koa spoke a distinct language. This suggests that Samaris, like Earth, may have varying territories with their own unique native languages. Mills takes unconscious Cow in his arms and walks towards the ship-damaged spacecraft. Along the way, Mills notices the hatched eggs and footprint of a massive animal and becomes anxious about the potential dangers they may face. Even though the land remains unknown to them, it is eventually revealed to viewers that the unfamiliar planet they have landed on is, in fact, Earth, and they are aliens to us. The crash occurred 65 million years ago during the Cretaceous period, long before the emergence of humanity. All they were greeted with were massive creatures emitting roars and grunts. Many of these creatures eventually became fossilized, which we now study with great curiosity. Mills and Koa were completely unaware that they were stranded in a world that appeared to be similar to their own planet, but in a different time period. This difference made the new world vastly different from the one they were familiar with. Mills begins searching the surrounding area for any functional escape vessels, knowing that the one on board the ship has been damaged and submerged in water. He goes into the forest, trekking further than he ever has before, and stumbles upon the fossilized remains of a dinosaur by a hot spring. As he marvels at the ancient creature's skeleton, he catches a glint of light reflecting off a distant mountain range. Intrigued, he investigates with a guide and discovers another section of the Zoic ship, which might contain several functioning escape vessels. As Mills makes his way towards the mountains, he is suddenly attacked by a baby dinosaur. In a quick and instinctual response, he fights and kills the creature. On edge from the unexpected encounter, Mills spots Koa in the nearby forest. As Koa attempts to run away from Mills, the two of them stumble upon a crevice. It is there that they come across the decaying body of an animal and sense an even greater threat lurking nearby. He quietly brings her back to the damaged spacecraft. Sensing the dangers of their unfamiliar environment, Mills and Koa must remain vigilant and resourceful if they are to have any hope of survival. Mills attempts to communicate with Koa, but quickly realizes that she speaks a different language than him. He finds her name on the passenger list and tries to convey the gravity of their situation, but the broken translator makes it difficult to communicate effectively. Through a combination of gestures, actions, and drawings, Mills manages to convey to Koa that they must find the escape vessels. To leave this unfamiliar world, Mills informs Koa that the vessels are located on the mountains in the far distance. To motivate her on their journey, he lies and tells her that her parents are waiting for them on the mountain. As Mills sends out a signal for help, which has become part of his routine, Koa spends her time watching videos of Mills' daughter. Despite the language barrier, Mills and Koa form a tenuous alliance and begin their perilous trek towards the mountains. With the hope of finding a way back home, Mills teaches Koa some gestures to use in order to communicate without speaking while in the forest. As they journey towards the mountain, Mills and Koa bond over their resourcefulness and care for each other. Along the way, they come across a baby reptile that is stuck in a mud pit, and they work together to free it. Later, the same reptile is hunted by a pack of baby velociraptors, causing Koa to become panicked. They eventually reach a waterfall and decide to rest for a while. While there, Mills checks and cleans his wounds, distracting Koa by showing her the water and flowers. Mills climbs a tree to get a better view of their destination but suffers a severe fall, leaving him badly injured. Despite this setback, they press on and soon encounter a pack of Murusraptors. Mills takes out several of the predators with explosions, but they are outnumbered and outmatched. In a desperate attempt to escape, Koa runs down the hill to find a hiding spot, leaving Mills alone to face the remaining raptors. Koa arrives at a beach where pterosaurs are plucking and eating crabs. Soon, she becomes the target of Murusraptors and is rescued by Mills just in time. The incident frightens Koa, and Mills consoles her. Mills and Koa find refuge in a cave and decide to spend the night there. As they look up at the stars, Koa can't help but feel homesick. In an effort to cheer her up, Mills uses his advanced 3D projector guide to show her a better view of their planet. However, Mills finds something more alarming, an asteroid appearance moving towards Earth. Mills wakes up in the middle of his sleep, due to the alarm devices he had set up in a circle around them, to monitor potential dangers. Upon checking the alarms, he notices that Koa is vomiting due to a disgusting worm that had entered her mouth. He quickly helps her get rid of it. What they did not anticipate in the dark cave is a giant dinosaur. The two quickly scramble to hide in a smaller cave within the larger cavern, hoping to avoid detection. As they catch their breath and try to regroup, they realize that they are not safe yet. The looming threat of the asteroid hurtling towards Earth adds to their mounting sense of dread and uncertainty. They must find a way to survive and escape this primordial world before it's too late. Mills and Koa follow a narrow path that leads them to a dead end. With no other options, Mills begins to dig a hole in the wall in order to reach the other side of the cave. They later use explosives to create a small opening, but a high-magnitude rockfall separates Mills and Koa. Mills becomes worried about Koa, thinking that she might have been stuck under rocks or, worst-case scenario, crushed. He finally feels relieved when he hears a whistle from Koa signaling that she is okay. Koa manages to crawl to the other side of the cave, where she hides and fights off a baby dinosaur using the explosives that Mills gave her back in the cave. Meanwhile, Mills fights a cave creature and makes his way back into the forest in search of Koa. As he calls out for her, Mills becomes stuck in quicksand. Luckily, Koa hears him and rushes to his aid, using a tree branch to pull him out of the pit. Overjoyed at being reunited with Koa, Mills embraces her tightly, just as he would his own daughter. Mills noticed the asteroid becoming increasingly visible and quickly checked the statistics. He informed Koa that they had only 12 hours to leave the planet before the celestial body hit, causing a catastrophic disaster. As they arrived at the site of zoic debris, Mills was overjoyed to discover a functioning vessel. However, Koa's emotions were running high as she searched for her parents and became angry with Mills for lying to her. In response, Mills revealed that he had lost his daughter to an illness during his long-range mission. Despite his personal loss, Mills vowed to keep Koa safe at all costs. As they activated the vessel, a small fragment of the scattered asteroid struck them, causing the vessel to crash upside down on the ground. Suddenly, a Tyrannosaurus Rex attacked their shuttle. Before they could become badly stuck, another of the same species appeared and the two beasts began to fight each other. The surviving T-Rex then turned its attention to Mills and Koa. Koa successfully injured its eye and eventually killed it with a blast from a nearby hot spring. They quickly made their way back to the ship and took off, just in time to escape the impact of the asteroid that would soon wipe out all life on Earth. In the post-credits scene, we witness a rapid journey of evolution from the Ice Age to modern times, providing a glimpse of the planet's history. This marks the end of the movie. The film starred renowned actors Adam Driver and Ariana Greenblatt, and was directed and written by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, who gained fame for their work on A Quiet Place. The cinematography in the '65 movie was both simple and excellent. The points I liked most in the movie. Firstly, the main plot of the movie was well developed, with a technologically advanced human race visiting a still evolving planet. This concept offers a glimpse into the possibility of Earth one day exploring the vast expanse of space and discovering new forms of life that are constantly evolving. The cinematography of the movie and the way it captured the forest environment was truly remarkable and deserves recognition. The special effects used in the movie were engaging and not at all boring. They helped bring the million-years-old world to life and made the viewing experience more immersive. There were several things that I felt were missing from the movie. Firstly, there was limited information about the expedition that Mills was a part of. Secondly, I felt that the main character lacked curiosity, despite being on a whole new planet. Although it was a planet similar to Earth, the probability of it being 100% the same is highly unlikely. I expected more exploration and discovery in this regard. Thirdly, the bonding between Koa and Mills felt a bit off. I personally expected more emotions and empathy in a survival movie. Fourthly, although the plot was good, the movie failed to show enough scientific facts about the planet's environment, such as different kinds of forests and animals. While they did feature a T-Rex, I expected to see more variety. Fifthly, the advanced technology of the aliens went unnoticed for the most part. Although Mills used guns and explosives a couple of times, the guide was a better helper. Finally, the fight between the two dinosaurs was predictable and cliché. I had hoped for a more unique and unexpected climax, even if it involved an alien species. That brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this movie explanation, please subscribe to the channel for more and don't forget to hit the like button. We'll be back with another movie explanation soon. Until then, have fun.